Welcome to Cowboys Flashback. I'm Brett Johnson. The Dallas Cowboys have plenty to be thankful for as they head into Week 13 of the NFL season with a record of 7-4. The Cowboys will be having some starters return this coming week as they look to close out the 17-game regular season on top of the NFC. Before we move ahead to the new week, Dak Prescott has a message for all the bandwagon fans.
How did the penalties affect this game for you guys?
I mean, it's obvious they definitely affected the game, but we've got to self-reflect and find a way to keep the officials out of the game. One way or another, we've got to be better. We've got to be disciplined. We've got to focus on controlling what we can control. Obviously, they're going to happen. Feel like we're targeted a little bit, but in the same instance, we've got to be better on our end to try to, as I said, keep them out of the game.
How difficult was it to get going offensively at the start?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. Just really wasn't working. The run game wasn't working. The pass game was slow. We obviously couldn't play complementary football without one of them. So it was tough, but we eventually got it going. Defense played a good game, giving us a chance to get back into it and make some plays in the fourth quarter. And we pushed it, made an overtime game, and came up short.
You're usually very good outside the pocket to throw on third down to Noah. What happened on that throw?
I kind of flashed late, and then at that point, I just guess the ball, in a sense, got away. I mean, no necessarily excuses for that, I guess. Usually a throw I make, and obviously I felt some defenders and the MG, or not MG, but the out route right there in front of him. Didn't want to lead him too much, and just threw it low, and wasn't a catchable ball.
You guys have lost 3 of the last 4. What's the mindset of this team? Are y'all reeling? What's going on?
Are we what?
Reeling here?
I mean, we've got to get back to believing in the basics and just playing fundamental football and being smarter. Being smart, as I said, being able to keep the officials out of the game, playing complementary football, scoring touchdowns when the defense gets turnovers, and we'll be okay. In the sense is, I'm sure a bunch of people are jumping off the bandwagon, which is fine with us because we know what we're capable of. We know the team that we have. More importantly, we know the men that are in that locker room, and that's the most important thing. Is just our belief in each other, and that's not going anywhere. It's not faded. We lost a tough one in an overtime game today, and that's the bottom line.
Last 2 weeks, how would you assess how you've played the last 2 weeks, especially offensively where you haven't had a lead in a sense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the game's easier when you have a lead for everybody involved. But just because you don't have a lead doesn't change the way that you go out there and you try to execute. So, we've got to start faster. We've got to start faster to allow our defense, allow the other offense to, in a sense, become one-dimensional. That helps our defense. And then again, once that happens, I'm sure the run game, the pass game, everything can just flow. So this is a tough league. This is a tough business, and that's why we're all in it. We're going to embrace the position that we're in. We're going to get better. We're going to lock arms, and this team will never stop fighting. So don't worry about that.
The Cowboys had the most penalties Thursday night in franchise history with a total of 28 in their 33-36 loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. Not only does Dak feel like the team should focus on controlling the controllables, but his teammate definitely agrees.
What besides winning at the line of scrimmage needs to happen?
I think we just got to execute more. We got to make more plays, and
Zeke, how big was missing Amari and CD today?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. That's a lot of production. Those are, 2 of our best receivers. We all know the impact that they make. So, I mean, that's tough. But and we got the next man up mentality. We have a deep receiver room, and we just got to, go out there. And, we got to control what we can control. And, if we don't have those guys, we got to figure out how to get the job done without them.
What's it like playing the game when 166 yards of penalties are called against you?
It's choppy. It's tough to get a rhythm, and but I think just we got to be more disciplined. I think we got to realize how they're calling games this year, and we got to adjust, and we got to do a better job playing cleaner.
I believe that's a franchise record since the team has been around since 1960. Have you been a part of a game with that many penalties?
No.
Talk about
hard to get into a rhythm. How how different does a game feel when there isn't an established flow? I mean, is it harder to focus or harder to kind of get into the feel of what the game's like?
It's hard to kind of get into a rhythm, but we just gotta figure out how to finish that game off. We were still in a position to win that ball game, and we just gotta figure out how to go get that win.
Y'all trailed for so long consistently throughout the game, then tied it late. What were the emotions at the end of the fourth quarter and overtime like?
We were ready. We were ready to go out there and do what we had to do. We made some plays. We got in it. We just weren't able to finish.
This week's game ball goes to a big-time playmaker. Stay tuned.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
It's time to give away this week's game ball to a player that changed the momentum of the game, or at least tried to. Some people know him as Tony Pollard, while others just simply call him Playmaker TP.
All right, first of all, you've been saying for a while you're ready to break one of these. Walk us through that play if you can, kind of what you saw from the kickoff return, and then just kind of take us all the way to the end zone.
We did a good job, before the kickoff, going over the things that they were doing that were, making it a little tricky for us. And, we did a good job adjusting on the fly, changing some things around, changed a little turn around a little bit, and it was able to hit.
Was that a design? It looked like everything was going right, and you cut it left. Is that the actual play, or do you just see something there?
Yeah, that was the design to it, so yeah.
Everyone flow in that way, and then you got to make the cut. When they say people have angles on you, you run through some of those angles, right?
Yeah, man. When I get in front, I try not to look back and just let my guy give an ability to just take over and just keep running.
And I'm sure you would be even greater of a play if you guys were coming out with a W there. Just how disappointing is it to fight back like that and then just lose it at the end?
It's a tough one. It's a tough loss. We hung in there all day. Did a good job fighting, staying with it. Came back towards the end, but we just got to do a better job executing at the beginning of the game. Not coming out so sluggish and having to make up for that in the second half. So we just have to do a good job playing the whole game.
In overtime, was it also designed to run it out like that? I didn't really get a good look of where you caught it. Did you have a chance for it to go in the end zone, or were you saying I'm coming out?
No, it was a short kick, so I had to catch it. So I really wasn't intending to, but yeah, I had to. It was a short kick, and then it was just they got the best of us on that one.
Where does this team go from here? Obviously 7-4. You go to New Orleans. Do you feel like you're going to get some more guys, get the receivers back, defensive guys back? Your confidence still high?
Yeah, nothing's changed for us. We have the same confidence that we've been had. We know we're still the same team. Got a lot of guys banged up, out right now. And, it's a game that we should have won. We just little things that added up at the end, just got to execute and make everything count.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
After Tony Pollard's 100-yard kickoff return, the offense started to get into a rhythm during the end of the fourth quarter to tie up the game and take it into overtime.
It seemed like, last few possessions of the fourth quarter, the passing game got clicking on a level that it hadn't been earlier. Is that just needing to have it because of the situation in the game, or what led to getting some of those gains going?
A lot of those at the end, Dak was just calling his own thing. We was in 2 minute. I think we excel really well in 2 minute. That's something we've always done well. Even if it's not a legit 2 minute, if he wants to just get on the ball and hurry up, we do really great at that. So I think that's just what helped us. Just got us rolling, got us pumped.
Michael, even if you guys feel that the calls went against you today, the fact that the Cowboys lead the NFL in penalty yards this season, how do you address that?
It's always addressed. We talk about it every week. You just got to eventually just go do it, stop doing it, I don't really know what to tell you on that one.
It's easy for us on the outside to be, well, if tempo and 2 minutes working, just do that all the time. Is there an element, do you as a player ever feel that way?
I mean, you know, it's a long game to just be running too many. That's tough, but I mean, you know, if we had it in us like that, you know, I'm pretty sure we would. But that's just something, you know, when you get in that situation, it's just like we're going 2 minutes on this drive. You know, it's great, and then you slow it down a bit because I mean, you want the other team to play your game. You know, you don't want to be playing their game. You don't want to be chasing. So that's what we're trying to get into.
Jerry was just talking out there about how it was just kind of a throw-it-up game where you can just throw it up, get a penalty, and that can kind of be your offense. Did you guys talk about, you know, how some of these big plays were being called downfield where you just give yourself a chance to get a flag?
I mean, I always say that, you know, just put the ball in my vicinity. I'm trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, but we didn't really talk about that. I mean, we always just assume the refs are against us. That's just how it is. That's how you got to think going into the game.
Now, some would argue the Dallas Cowboys actually had 2 opponents in this game, the Raiders and the refs. We'll dive into that when we return.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T. This segment is brought to you by Ashley Home Store, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Of the 28 total penalty flags, a good chunk of them were actually against the defense, including 4 pass interference calls on Anthony Brown alone. Some of those calls questionable, of course, but one thing's not, and that's this Cowboys defense who continue to prove they will never give up.
No, it was crazy, but you know, we can only control what we can control. You know, we just go out there and play football, and you know, if they decide to throw a flag, they throw a flag. So, you know, we'll get in there, like I said, watch the plays, and you know, if it may be where it was a flag, we'll correct that. But you know, we can only just go out there and play fast, keep playing physical, and let the chips fall where they may. We can't control if a ref throws a flag. If we feel like we're playing good coverage and the flag still comes out, you know, that's not nothing we can do about that. But you know, we'll just continue to keep on doing our job and continue to keep fighting.
What, if anything, did you say to AB? He had 4 pass interference calls against him. I think they're all around 3rd down.
AB's been a solid player for us. I mean, it's not, what should I say to him? Nothing to say to him. He's been solid. You know, it's in the world we live in today. If you do 9 good things for somebody and you do 1 bad thing, they're going to remember that 1 bad thing. That's not, you know, we can't. Can we talk about the other games that he had and he was solid? You know, like, so I don't really understand you know, why did I have to talk to him? He's a solid player. He's going to continue to be a solid player. So, you know, that's just what it is. We have his back regardless of anything, you know, and that's all we need is the people in the locker room. Everybody else, you know, they're going to nitpick. They're going to make their own decisions and, you know, live with that. But he knows he has our back, and, you know, we're always behind him. So everything else is, the noise on the outside doesn't even matter. We got his back regardless, so.
We often talk about what goes right when you guys win a game, but over the last 2 weeks, what have you learned about this team?
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight to the end regardless. You know, calls happen. Didn't go our way. So that's just what it is. I just know the guys in that locker room are gonna fight. The guys that's on that field are gonna fight. And you know, as long as you know we continue to do that, you know, things will turn. Things will turn, and then the outside world will be back on our back. They'll have our back again. It just always goes that way. You know, it's unfortunate. You know, when you lose, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. But when we win, oh, it's Cowboys this, Cowboys that. You know, it's BS. It's BS. Like I said, you can do 9 good things for somebody. The 1 bad thing they're going to remember. So, you know, we're going to go out there and keep doing what we're doing. Keep playing ball. We play ball for each other. We play football for each other. We're not playing for anybody else or to care about their opinions, because honestly, if it was that easy, they'll be doing the same thing. So.
You tell him, J-Ron. Now, when J-Ron Curtis says this team has each other's back, well, they really, really do.
How disappointed is it just overall to start with a big picture game there? And you guys have battled back and then just lose it that way?
I mean, it's always tough. We kind of started slow and gave up a big one, and we was crawling back from there. So I mean, we fought to the end. I give our team the credit for that, and we just came up short. We just got to look at the film and see what we did wrong or in the situations that we can fix.
Without getting you in trouble, but when a game is called the way it is, tight like that, is it one of those things where you guys have to know that going in and also adjust on as the game goes on?
We just got to do our job. Honestly, we can't think of it like that. We just got to fight through whatever comes our way, and that's what it is. We just gotta fight, and which we did. I mean, I give credit to all of those guys, especially AB. I mean, he fought through it. I mean, through a lot of adversity. I mean, he's having a great year. So, I mean, that's my brother right there, man, and he fought through it all. So.
You've been one of the defensive leaders. You've been here for a little bit now. What do you guys do from here? That's 2 in a row, but it's not even. I mean, you still got another week, and you got to play on the road again here. So
we got to play to our standard. Play to our standard from the get-go. First quarter, go out there and play how we know how to play, and just go out there and understand that team's gonna give us their best shot, and just go out there and perform how we know we can.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Jordan.
I wonder what this week's game-altering play is going to be. Why don't you stay tuned to find out?
This segment was brought to you by Ashley Home Store, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. I'm Britt Johnson here with Dallas Cowboys senior writer Nick Eatman. Welcome back, Nick. We missed you last week.
I know. I appreciate it. This is fun. Even though this play is not so much fun, it's always fun to sit and talk about what changed the game. Now, we've already gone and seen one kickoff return by Tony Pollard, an electrifying touchdown, got him back in the game. Unfortunately, here in overtime, this one, you could say, kind of led to losing the game for the Cowboys because everyone's all excited that they've got the momentum and they're going to kick it to Pollard. Could he just win the game here in overtime? No, not so much. Not so much. Guess what? Another penalty, and that's what kind of changed it. Now, you could say maybe just let the ball go and start at the 20, 25, but after you've already scored one, you got those visions of scoring. But let's look at 57 here, Luke Gifford. He's the guy that really didn't do anything other than a penalty here.
This angle you can really
see him. You've got him right there. Now he's looking at 39. He's looking, and then all of a sudden deciding not to do anything. And Pollard maybe didn't go the way that they thought he would. But then it leads to a block in the back. What's worse than starting at the 11 is starting at the 6. And so that's what happened there is the Cowboys got the possession but pinned back. They went 3 and out, had to punt. Of course, the Raiders at that point just played downhill and got the field goal. But that kickoff return right there, the fact that they didn't start at the 25, they started at the 6, that changes your whole dynamic of the play calls. And, of course, it led to a punt, and then the Raiders won the game.
Now, we talked a lot about the penalties in this game, 28 total penalties. You talked to a lot of the players after the game. How are they feeling about those penalties?
Well, they obviously couldn't say much, but they said, they don't want to get fined. Nobody wants to get fined. But, in fact, your shirt looks like another flag, too. I just feel like it's just flags flying
everywhere.
all over the place. You have to adjust in a game like that. The Raiders, I thought, did a better job.
Yes, well, we will be right back to see what Cowboys Nation kind of figured out about bandwagon fans, these penalties, the whole 9 when we return.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, Reliant, an NRG company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Before we get out of here, let's check in with Cowboys Nation, see how everyone's feeling on Twitter. This first one woke up a diehard Cowboys fan, and I will go to sleep a diehard Cowboys fan no matter the outcome of the season. I will always be a Cowboys fan. Let's keep these rolling here. When the dude had 0 defensive PIs all year and gets 4 in a game where the refs were throwing flags for breathing wrong, I just walked away from the game understanding that wasn't Cowboys football. That was the refs taking over the game. That's only taking the thing that makes sense. Our next one here, that we have. If we can get that up, Dallas Cowboys lost a few so-called fans this week. Be proud you're not one of them. Love that energy right there. And then, of course, this one is so important. Only rookie to record double-digit pressures in a game this season. Micah Parsons, 10 on Thanksgiving. That is so huge for Cowboys Nation. I always like to end on a positive note. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Cowboys Flashback. I'm Britt Johnson, and I will see you guys very, very soon.